Hey everybody, thank you for joining me on my channel today. I am going to be talking about Disneyland with babies and toddlers. So if you have a trip coming up soon and you're going to Disneyland, you're bringing your little kids and your toddlers and you just don't know exactly what there is to do or if there's going to be enough for you to do, this is the video for you. So let's get right into it. So let's start with Disneyland. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what currently in 2022 is open and what may not be open. Now, that being said, at the time of viewing this video, some things may change. It changes daily. Things may be open, they may be closed for refurbishment. You can go on the Disneyland app or Disneyland.com and look at what attractions are open and what may be closed for refurbishment. Sometimes it has dates of reopening, so get over there and take a look at that if there's something very specific that you want to try to do. Just make sure that it's open before you plan your day. Toontown in Disneyland is one of the most popular places for little kids. However, currently it is closed for refurbishment until 2023. So although that is unfortunate, it is not a deal breaker. There are so many things for kids and babies and toddlers to do. You won't even miss it one bit. And when it reopens, it's going to be awesome. So let's get started on what exactly you may be looking at for your day. For running around, they do have Tom Sawyer Island. Now that is an absolutely wonderful place to run around. However, there are a lot of little caves and small spaces for active toddlers to get into, and it can be a little bit dangerous if you're not right next to them. There is actually one specific cave I can think of that has a drop-off moment. It's a ladder on one side, but if you're coming through the other side of the cave, it's actually a drop-off if you don't realize there's a ladder there. So if you're going to be going to Tom Sawyer Island, just keep a really close eye on your kids. There are a lot of rides for babies and toddlers that don't have height requirements. However, you do want to keep an eye on which ones are scary or dark. So in the app, on the Disneyland mobile app, you can find whether or not a ride is dark or scary. It says it in the description. But there are a lot of choices if your kids don't like dark and scary things. So I'm just going to go through the list and show you each ride that I recommend. And I'll try to let you know if that's something that could be on the no list if your kid is sensitive to that sort of thing. So Disneyland Railroad, the train that goes from Main Street all the way around the park and back to Main Street, has several little stops. It's a great place to rest your feet, and there are sights to see on the way. And there is a secret dinosaur cave inside. So when you go on the train, make sure that you start anywhere in the park, but also end at that same place that you started at, because then you'll find the little secret dinosaur area. So stay on that train, check that out. Not a lot of people know about that if they're visiting for the first time. Another awesome ride is Jungle Cruise. Jungle Cruise is really quite relaxing, funny. I really enjoy it, day or night. It's great both ways. So it's got a fun little animals to see, some fun jokes that they'll tell, and just an awesome relaxing ride, great for all ages. It's a Small World is another one that is really nice for relaxing, getting some air conditioning. I think it's about a 10-minute ride from start to finish, but it's not dark or scary, and it's got a nice song, and it can be very repetitive, but a lot of stuff to look at. So your kids will be entranced and looking at the wonderful sights and sounds, and you get to relax. Haunted Mansion is another one of those rides that has no height requirement, but it is dark and can be scary, especially with the holiday overlay. It's got Nightmare Before Christmas, and it can be a little spooky. Pirates of the Caribbean is another dark ride, and it is very slow, and there is 2 drops in it. So it is a water ride. You go along a lazy river kind of thing, and it's very dark, and there's a lot of pirate scenes and explosions and things like that. So just be aware of that. Winnie the Pooh is a really good ride. It is dark. It's slow. It can have a couple of parts that are a little bit scary, but overall, I recommend that. So one of the new rides at Disneyland is Finding Nemo, and that is the submarine ride. You are in a submarine for about 15 to 20 minutes. So for me, when I went on it, it was an 18-minute affair. There was 4 or 5 minutes just sitting still trying to wait to get off. It is a very new ride, and so they are still working out some of the kinks. So you may get stuck for a few minutes, so just be aware of that. The seats are about this big, and you are shoulder to shoulder with people. Lots of little fun things to look at, But again, it is a long ride and you are in an enclosed space. You cannot walk around. The Tiki Room is a really good spot to take a break. You can order your Dole Whip outside, grab that, and then sit and eat it while you're waiting for the room to open. This is like an animatronic ride. They've got all these birds everywhere singing songs. It's not a ride that moves, it's just a room, and it's just like entertainment. So Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters is a really great ride at Disneyland for all ages. For babies, they can just sit there, you know, on your lap or next to you. And for toddlers, it's even better. So it's basically a game on wheels. So you take a little blaster and it's got a little laser pointer on it and you just go around and shoot things. It's a very slow ride, like a clamshell kind of ride that just goes on a little conveyor really slowly. Lots of sights and sounds. It's a little bit loud. It's a little dark, but not too dark, I feel. And again, it's Buzz Lightyear and the aliens and Zurg and all that stuff. So if your kids are into that, they're gonna love it. And it's a game, so I mean, who doesn't love that? Autopia is another great ride for toddlers if they are 32 inches or taller. So that could be an option too. Not a great ride for babies because again, there's a height requirement. But if you do have a toddler that's over 32 inches, they can drive the car themselves with an adult present. Astro Orbiter is a ride in Tomorrowland, and that one is where the ships lift up and go around in a circle. It's great for babies and toddlers. If you get motion sickness though, it may not be right for you. And another ride just like the Astro Orbiter would be Dumbo. Dumbo is in Fantasyland, and that one again just goes around in a circle, up and down, and goes back down. And you can control Dumbo going up or down. Not great for people with motion sickness, but excellent for babies and toddlers. Anything in Fantasyland is pretty much great for babies, kids, and toddlers, except for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride can be a little crazy. Pinocchio can be a little dark and a little bit too much, in my opinion. But, you know, if that's something that you want to give it a go for it. Snow White was recently redone, and so you may enjoy that one a little bit more if you were used to the old ride. I would definitely recommend checking out this newer one. It's brighter, it's more animated, and it's great. Snow White I highly recommend that one. Peter Pan, that one gets, for whatever reason, it's super popular in the morning. People bum rush that ride first. So if it's your first time and you want to do Peter Pan, check it out. It's a very slow, dark ride. There's a huge following for Peter Pan, so if you want to do it, you can bum rush it over there. It usually ends up being a 40-minute wait, 5 minutes after opening. One of my favorites is this Storyland canal boats, and that one is really fun. You get to see all these little miniatures of the houses and places where the princesses live. So you can see Arendelle Castle and the ice castle, and you can see Jasmine's castle, all that stuff, and it's miniature, and it's a little boat ride. It's very calm and relaxing. I highly recommend that one. It's really cute. Right next door to that, they have the Casey Jr. Circus Train, and it goes along the same route as the Storyland canal boats, but it goes over the top. So you're going to be seeing a lot of the same things, but again, you're on a train. So highly recommend that one too. The teacups in Fantasyland are also a great option for any height. You can choose to spin your cup or not. You don't have to spin like crazy. You can just go very calmly around in circles, and it is kind of a fun ride. I like that ride. Alice in Wonderland is another great ride. It's a little bit dark, but it's not too spooky in my opinion, and it's slow, and it's a pretty long ride. That one does get to be a long wait time though, so if you are looking to look at Alice in Wonderland, try to get on there first thing. The Mark Twain Riverboat is another option for a relaxing sort of, you know, look at some scenery. The last time I rode on it was just a nice relaxing trip around the little river there, and it was beautiful and relaxing. So I do recommend going on that if you need a little break. There are some vehicles on Main Street as well, so you can jump on the double-decker bus. There is a fire truck too, that like an old-timey fire vehicle that the kids can climb on over there on Main Street. And another thing that you can check out is the monorail. It may not be a ride per se, but it is a place to relax. So if you want to check that out, you can hop on the monorail and take that all the way around and come back. They do have the Princess Castle. They have shows that they put on, and they have meet and greets with the princesses, like a princess sort of like a gathering where you can meet multiple princesses at once over near Fantasyland. And they have tons of shops and a ton of treats. So there's definitely a lot of things to see. You're not going to run out of things to do. Moving on to Disney's California Adventure next. So in all honesty, Disney's California Adventure is my personal favorite place to go with babies, little kids, toddlers, and kids that aren't tall enough to go on the other rides. They do have an awesome trail called the Redwood Challenge Trail. I can't say that for some reason, it's hard to say. Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. I think I said it right that time. That is a great trail for kids to walk around. There are spots in that trail for kids that are 42 inches and above to do some rock climbing. And there is a little tire swing, sort of zip line also for kids of a certain height. So if they're not tall enough to do those little things, there's plenty of areas to run around. Recently they had Raya there to meet, and I've also seen Chip and Dale kind of running around and doing character meet and greets there. So that trail I highly recommend. In addition to the rides at California Adventure, they have a lot of awesome shows. There's Turtle Talk with Crush, and that's where you get to sit in the audience and Crush the turtle from Finding Nemo comes up on the screen and asks you questions, and you may get selected, and they'll ask the child questions and they'll go back and forth, and it's a cute little show. The Disney Junior Dance Party is another super popular activity for babies and toddlers, and that line can be pretty long. So I have seen people line up for that ride about an hour in advance before the showtime, and you can find all the showtimes there on the Disneyland mobile app, and so you can look that up and plan out your day and see if you'd like to wait for that. And it is definitely fun though. Lots of fun songs. The kids get to dance and go up to the stage, and it's really fun. Definitely an awesome activity for the kids. And you get air conditioning if you're hot. Some of the rides at Disney's California Adventure that you can ride with babies and toddlers and with no height requirement are Little Mermaid. That is a clamshell ride. So again, you just hop on the clamshell, it goes on the conveyor. You see all of the characters. It's a little bit dark, but the scenes are very bright. Lots of music. There is a dark part with Ursula. The whole thing is great. It's a relatively short ride, but the air conditioning is on point. Another great ride is Monsters, Inc. It is really cute. You get on a little taxi. You can just go around and see all the Monsters, Inc. happenings. It's pretty much exactly like the movie. There is a dark part with a bunch of doors, but overall, it's generally a relatively bright ride. And there's a little secret. If it's just you and one other kid, or maybe two little kids, you can ask for a buddy pass. They don't do a buddy pass every day. You just go up to the cast member there at the front of the ride and ask if they're doing buddy passes. And if they are, they'll give you a buddy pass. You'll go through the exit and wait in that line, and that's only for the very back of the taxi cab. So that's when they run out, of parties of two and they need another party of two. So that's a little secret for you. The only other ride that may do that is Midway Mania, but it's rare. I have never had a time where they actually had buddy passes at Midway Mania. Inside Out, Emotional Whirlwind is another ride that goes around. They're like hot air balloons with little baskets, and you get in and you just go around a little bit and then you're done. So if your kids like that sort of ride, that one is also great. Over there on Pixar Pier, they do have quite a few things for babies and toddlers because they have Midway Mania. Now that one is, again, like a game ride. So that one does spin a little bit. So the kids do get kind of like bumped around a little, but they do have these little pull strings. They animate like things getting thrown at the game, at the screen, and it's really, really fun. So you could do the two adults on the side of the baby in the middle, and there's two little shooters, but it's really fun, very colorful. If you like Toy Story, I highly recommend Midway Mania. And right next door is Jesse's Carousel, and that one is super fun, and it's just a cute little carousel. Then there's the Pixar Pal Around. Couple things to note on Pixar Pal Around. So it is a giant Ferris wheel. The line can be pretty long, 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes can turn to 40 minutes or longer. They do have two different rides for that one. So when you walk up, you'll see that there's two separate lines. One side is for non-swinging, that's just the stationary regular Ferris wheel ride. That's the one I prefer. And then they have a swinging one, okay? That one will swing you like crazy, and if you have motion sickness, or even if you don't have motion sickness, you might throw up. Pixar Pal Around is a great ride, especially if you need to rest your feet. I just highly recommend sticking with the stationary side. Now, Cars Land is a huge deal for a lot of kids. There are two rides in Cars Land that are great for babies and toddlers. I personally love Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. You get in these little tractors that have little trailers at the back, and it fits two up to three. Again, if you're an adult and two small kids, you can fit in there. And you'll go around in a circle with a song playing, and it kind of whips you around a little bit. It's really fun. It's not too crazy, but I highly recommend doing that one. It is a lot of fun. The other one at Cars Land is Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters. It's kind of like a line dance with cars. So you just get in the car and they do like sort of a preset, everyone's doing stuff together and doing little circles, really mild, very cute, very fun, relaxing ride. These rides usually are about a 20-minute wait. If you get there early in the morning, 5 to 10 minutes, but I have seen them 35 minutes or so, but it usually doesn't top 35 minutes for those. And at Cars Land, they also do have meet and greets with the popular Cars characters too. So if you hang around long enough, you might see Lightning McQueen or Mater come around during Halloween time. I have seen Mater dressed up with some sort of crazy hair, so that is something fun to check out too. And I highly recommend checking out Cars Land for sure. Web Slingers is in Avengers Campus. It's the only ride currently in Avengers Campus. It has no height requirement. And I definitely highly recommend doing it if you are fans of Marvel or Spider-Man, because it is a very fun ride. It is a game ride. You don't have to touch anything. You just use your hands and it reads your hands and it like slings webs animated onto the screen. And it's really fun. The line can be pretty long. I've seen it 85, 90 minutes. So that could be one that you want to rope drop, maybe do the individual lightning lane. So that one is not included on Genie Plus. You would have to purchase it separate. The Main Street area at California Adventure is also awesome to check out the shops. They have a lot of treats. They have a really great ice cream shop, Clarabelle's Ice Cream. They do have a little candy shop right next door too, and lots of merchandise and cute little shops. There's a toy store in there. It's a very cute little area to check out. So definitely walk around the shops. Another thing I get asked a lot is Genie Plus worth it for families with babies and toddlers? Now, recently they made some changes to Genie Plus, and now they offer free PhotoPass pictures with your Genie Plus tickets. So purchasing Genie Plus for families is actually a really great deal, because normally the PhotoPass, I think it's $20 just to get your unlimited photos for the day. So you might as well get Genie Plus. For currently it's at $20 and you get the free PhotoPass with it. So even if you just do a couple of photo spots and you get those family pictures and they're free, that was worth it already. Now there are several rides that are available with no height requirement on the Genie Plus. So these are the ones at Disneyland. Autopia, if your child is 32 inches or taller. Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, and that one again is no height requirement. Haunted Mansion, that has no height requirement, but it is a little bit dark, so just be aware of that. It's a Small World is on there, and that one I highly recommend checking out for babies and toddlers. At California Adventure, we have Monsters, Inc. So again, that one has no height requirement, and that can be a long wait time, but again, you could try to use the Buddy Pass if you're just a party of 2 or 3. And Toy Story Midway Mania, and that is the other ride that does get to be a long wait time. So with that in mind, that is currently 5 to 6 rides that you could be using Genie Plus for. You can only use Genie Plus 1 time per day per ride. So if you've already ridden Autopia with Genie Plus, you cannot do another one later with Genie Plus. You can wait in the regular standby line, of course, but again, it's just the 1 time. A couple of little extra things that I want to throw in really quick. Baby centers that are located at both parks are fantastic. So if you forgot diapers or wipes, or you need a quiet place to nurse, or you need to change some wet clothes, and you need a little bit more space, that is a great place. They can be found on the Disneyland mobile app. You can actually find those in the drop-down menu. Baby care centers, I believe is what it's called. And you can search for those and ask a cast member if you can't quite find it. And they are awesome. Really nice, quiet places to get things done, to maybe just relax and unwind for a few minutes if you have to with the baby. That's fantastic. Great place to go. If I missed anything, I apologize. I will try to put that in the description for you so you can see if I missed anything. I'm going to put a list of the rides that I recommend down below in the description. If you like this video, please give me a little thumbs up, subscribe to this channel to see more, and put that little bell on if you want notifications every time I post. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.